Rain streaked the high windows of the detention room, a soft and steady tapping above the silence. Inside, two students sat in opposite corners of the room, each surrounded by empty desks, as if the air itself kept them apart. The clock on the wall ticked loud in the emptiness, marking each second like an accusation. Maya leaned back in her chair, legs stretched out under the desk. Her hood was up, headphones looped around her neck, though no sound played through them. Her eyes were fixed on the water-stained ceiling tiles, jaw clenched like she was daring the world to say something. Her name had been called in too many hallways, written on too many warning slips. Today, she hadn't even bothered to lie about why she skipped school. She just hadn't wanted to be there. On the other side, Eli sat upright, arms folded over a closed chemistry textbook. His school polo was crisp, his posture tense. The room was foreign to him. Detention wasn't a place he belonged, not with his grades, not with his record. One outburst, one time, when the pressure boiled over in class and words he didn't plan had spilled out. That was all it had taken to land him here. He had tried not to look at Maya when they were first left alone. She looked like someone who didn't want to be seen. The silence stretched between them like a challenge. At first, they didn't speak. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Outside, thunder rolled somewhere in the distance. Maya's voice broke the silence, low and flat. She asked how a kid like him ended up in a place like this. Her tone wasn't mocking, just curious. Eli replied without lifting his head, saying he lost it during a group project. Said something to the teacher he shouldn't have. His voice was controlled, but something in the way he spoke hinted at a larger truth behind the story. Another pause. Maya asked if he regretted it. Eli didn't answer right away. Then he said no, not really, that it felt good to stop pretending for once. Maya's lips curved into the ghost of a smile. She said that pretending was exhausting, like carrying around someone else's skin. Eli looked up at her for the first time then. Really looked. Maya's eyes didn't look tired, they looked disappointed, like they'd expected more from everything. They fell into a rhythm, speaking in pieces, spaces between filled with the sound of rain. They talked about pressure. Eli admitted he sometimes felt like a product more than a person, a result waiting to be measured. Maya said that at least he had expectations, that sometimes being overlooked was worse, that she could disappear for days and no one would ask why. The clock ticked. The room remained still, except for their words and the weather. Maya confessed she skipped school not because she hated it, but because it felt pointless. Like showing up didn't matter. Like the world was already done deciding who she was going to be. Eli admitted he didn't want to be perfect, he just didn't know how to be anything else. Their words weren't dramatic, they weren't loud, but they were honest in a way that silence often forces. At one point, the power flickered. The lights buzzed and dimmed, then held steady. Neither of them moved. Eli pulled a granola bar from his backpack and tossed it across the room. It landed on Maya's desk without a word. She unwrapped it and ate it slowly, without saying thank you. For a while, they just sat. Maya started doodling in the margins of a torn math worksheet, passing the paper across the desk between them. Eli added to it, a small sun drawn in the corner of her dark cloud. She smirked but didn't comment. The rain picked up again, a low rumble followed by the sharp hiss of water on pavement. Maya mentioned she liked the sound of storms, said it felt like the sky was finally being honest, too. Eli nodded, saying he liked how it gave him permission to slow down. Like the world stopped expecting things just for a moment. Time slipped past them. Maya shared that her brother used to sit with her on rainy days, drawing comic characters and making up stories about their lives. He didn't live with them anymore. Left after a fight with their mom. She didn't say where he went. Eli didn't ask. In return, Eli spoke about his father. About how nothing he did was ever quite enough. Even his best grades were expected, not celebrated. Like he was always just catching up to the version of himself that everyone already assumed was perfect. They weren't trading trauma. They weren't trying to fix each other. They were simply listening and being heard. Maya leaned forward now, arms folded on the desk. Her hood was down. She asked Eli what he wanted, if he could drop the act for real. He said he didn't know. Maybe just one day where he could wake up and not have to perform. Eli asked what she wanted. Maya stared out the window for a long moment, then said, to feel like I matter before I do something big. Not after. There was another long pause, but it didn't feel empty. Eli stood and crossed the room, pulling a desk near hers. He didn't say anything, just sat down. Close, but not too close. The air between them didn't feel heavy anymore. They talked about books, music, teachers they secretly liked, weird cafeteria food. The light from the window had softened into the silver of late afternoon. Outside, the parking lot was a blur of puddles and reflections. When the clock struck, neither of them moved to pack up right away. The room had given them something they didn't expect. Not friendship exactly, but recognition. They walked out without saying goodbye. But something unspoken passed between them as the door clicked shut behind them. Sometimes, being seen, really seen, is enough to change the story. And sometimes, the person you least expect understands you better than anyone else.